Hi, I'm Sil Branco, and today we are going to talk about interpersonal skills. Exactly what soft skills are, how soft skills work, how can you improve your soft skills, how to highlight your soft skills, acquire them, and why they are important. Finally, we will focus on communication, interpersonal skills, problem solving, and organizational skills. I don't know if you've ever heard, but companies hire based on people's CVs and they fire based on their attitude or their behavior. This is a famous expression of the corporate world, highlights the importance of soft skills within companies and their routines. Nowadays, many companies focus more on soft skills because hard skills you can learn and acquire easily through training. Soft skills are a little bit more difficult. Interpersonal skills. Let's start with this. What are interpersonal skills and why are they important within the workplace? Known as people skills, soft skills, or emotional intelligence, interpersonal skills are related to the way we communicate and interact with others. When employers are hiring, interpersonal skills are considered one of the top skills or criteria in a candidate's evaluation. They also help if you want to receive a promotion and be successful within your workplace. Regardless of the type of job that you have, it's important to be able to get along with your co-workers, managers, customers, sales rep, so forth. The word employability is a tip-off about the importance of interpersonal skills. They are crucial in the hiring process, and people don't want to hire candidates that don't have them. Many careers require consistent, if not constant, interaction with other people. This is true for jobs that would seem to favor introverted personalities, independent work styles. For example, if you're a software engineer or writer, a statistics analysis, it doesn't matter. You still have to interact with people. Even though it's a more technical profession, the interaction still exists. So you can't carry out your job without interacting with other people. Types of interpersonal skills. These include verbal and nonverbal communication, the ability to handle conflict, teamwork, empathy, listening, and having a positive attitude. Being flexible and positive, able to listen, communicate well, and are all important criteria for success at work. There are some important interpersonal skills for all job types, such as communication, conflict management, the ability to create empathy with others, leadership, listening, negotiation, positive attitude, teamwork. These are all soft skills. But what exactly are soft skills? Soft skills are non-technical skills that impact performance within the workplace. These should be included in your resume and cover letter when you're applying for a job. In addition, you should also take advantage of promoting these soft skills during an interview. Demonstrating them will most likely help you to get a job. Soft skills, everybody has them in one way or another. It's skills that you acquire throughout your academic life, through your job experience, and they are developed in these environments, work, school, and so forth. Volunteer activities, participating in training programs. Some people just have difficulty acquiring these skills, but these can all be acquired within these environments. Soft skills are non-technical skills that relate to how you work. They include how you interact with colleagues, how you solve problems, how you manage your work. Soft skills include interpersonal skills or people skills, communication skills, listening skills, time management, problem solving, leadership, empathy, and so forth. Moving on, how do soft skills work? They are among the top skills employers seek when looking for candidates to hire and for just about any other job. Hiring managers typically look for job candidates with soft skills because they make someone more successful in the workplace. Someone can be an excellent technician, have specific job skills, but they can't manage the time that they work within a team, for example. They're not successful in the workplace because of these reasons. Soft skills are also important for the success of most employers. After all, nearly every job requires employers to engage with others in one way or another. Another reason that hiring managers and employers look for applicants with soft skills is that soft skills are transferable within a work environment, regardless of the person's job. This makes the job candidate with soft skills very adaptable and flexible for employers or as employees. How to improve your soft skills? The real question is that we all have them, whether they're more predominant or not in the way that we interact with others. But how can we improve these when we're lacking in them? You can learn new soft skills or improve the existing ones that you have through classes, leadership training, or mentorship programs. You can also build your people skills by identifying your growth areas and setting goals to improve these. For example, if you know that you need to learn better listening, you can start by being more careful with the way that you interact with others and the way that you listen to what others say. Asking for clarification when you need to. If you don't understand the first time, or if you didn't hear the first time, ask your colleague to repeat it. How to highlight your soft skills. Talking about highlighting soft skills, there are a few steps that you can take, and let's learn how you can do this. When you're applying for a new job, for example, highlighting your soft skills as well as your job-specific skills implies what? First, you should try to make a list of the soft skills that are relevant to the job that you're applying for. Compare your list with the job listing that you find in newspapers or online. Include some of those soft skills in your resume. If you are good working in a team, make sure that you have teamwork and how you acquired the skill mentioned in your resume. You can also add them to a skill section. So when you're elaborating your resume, don't just focus on the hard skills that you have and the experience that you have. Have a little spot or at the end of your resume where you mention the soft skills that you have and how you acquired them, either through academic experiences or through other job experiences. It's also important to mention these soft skills in a cover letter. Pick one or two soft skills that appear to be the most relevant in reference to that job that you're applying for, and provide evidence to show how you acquired these particular skills or how you used these particular skills in the past. Finally, you can also highlight these soft skills during a job interview. Demonstrate your soft skills during the interview by being friendly and approachable. Pay close attention to the interviewer when they're talking, and also show your listening skills. And don't forget, when you're speaking to an interviewer, you should always look them straight in the eye. How to get soft skills. Unlike hard skills that are learned, soft skills are similar to emotions and insights that allow people to read others. These are much harder to learn, at least in traditional classrooms. They are also much harder to measure and evaluate. So how can you acquire soft skills? Job training programs, for example. Job training programs cover soft skills. They discuss soft skills so job seekers know what they are and the importance of highlighting them on their resumes. There are also free online courses that can help you improve your soft skills. On the job training, If you've been working for a while, chances are you've already developed some soft skills. For example, if you've worked in retail, you've worked in a team environment, you've helped unhappy customers find answers to their problems, you've used conflict resolution and problem-solving skills. If you're new at work, think of other activities that you've done, either through school or through a volunteer basis. Chances are you've had to communicate with other people, adapt to changes and solve problems. You can also reflect on these soft skills that you need to develop if you notice that in a certain situation you didn't react in a very appropriate way, or in a way that was positive considering the situation. So instead of just discussing problems with your manager, discuss solutions to these problems. If you see a challenge struggling, offer to pitch in, or a colleague that is struggling, offer to help that colleague. If there's a process that could improve your workplace, suggest it as well. Why are soft skills important? Now let's see why soft skills are important. Soft skills are important because they help you work with others. They help you interact with other people, such as communication skills, teamwork, and adaptability. They enable you to connect with other coworkers, express your ideas, receive feedback, and achieve consensus. Communication and interpersonal skills, problem solving, and organizational skills. Let's move on to these. Types of soft skills. First, we need to understand the different types of soft skills that exist. We have adaptability, communication, compromise, creative thinking, problem solving, dependability, leadership, listening, so forth. All these soft skills include personal attitudes, personality traits, and communication abilities needed for success on the job. Soft skills characterize how a person interacts in his or her relationship with others. They can be, as I've stated, adaptability, communication, compromise, work ethics, critical thinking, negotiation, and so forth. In reference to communication, it might seem simple enough to say, I know how to communicate. However, those little communicating experiences differ from person to person. Different walks of life or they show us how complicated communication can be. How many times have you ever said or written something to someone and they took it the wrong way? Especially the way communication works nowadays. We use our cell phones, we send text messages, and we expect the other person to know exactly the type of message that we're trying to relate. We expect them to read between the lines, and this isn't something that's necessarily easy. A lot of times, messages are misread, misinterpreted, because people think that they can hear people's expressions within these messages. So communication is very important, and bad communication happens all the time within the workplace. The best employers need leaders that can exercise care in their ability to listen and respond to companies and to customers and to fellow employees. Employees look for applicants with superior written and oral verbal communication skills. For almost every job they hire, these are qualities that they look for. Types of communication skills. These can be written, verbal, non-verbal, and you just have to choose the right medium considering the situation you have at hand. Written communication. Writing well is a major component of being professional. Many talented people often do not write well. Poor writing not only makes an exchange of ideas and information less efficient, but it also makes you look unintelligent. Learning to write well has an important side effect. because being clear, readable and having readable text is also a sign of being well organized. Being straightforward and listening and learning to rate also teaches you to speak and to think better. Verbal communication. Verbal, also called oral communication, is essential for those with jobs in a traditional workplace. And for employees, those tasks include extensive use of telephones. While verbal communication skills are probably most important for those in sales, customer service, and public relations, anyone who has to interact face-to-face with supervisors and colleagues needs to be able to express themselves clearly and succinctly, okay? So you have to know how to send your message across in a way that the other person is going to understand exactly what you are trying to say. Reconciliation and conflict management. Regarding these 2 points, a simple friendliness, politeness, respect as you go along and try to create rapport and improve communication with others. You should always say please and thank you and I'm sorry as required, of course. Remember to ask people how they're doing and listen to their answer. It's not just a question of listening, mind you, it's a question of hearing. The problem with a lot of people nowadays is that they don't hear what the other person is saying. So it's not just a question of listening, it's a question of working your hearing skills. Part of conflict management is simply being kind and considerate with everyone so that they can model in regard to your behavior. As the workplace becomes more diverse, conflict management is a communication skill increasingly sought after, especially by employers. Communication mediums. Each medium has its advantages and disadvantages, and each adds something different to the message that you are trying to convey. Some messages are better suited to particular media than others. For instance, most people prefer to have bad news delivered in person. They don't want to receive it by message. They don't want to receive it over the phone. They want you to be present as you are relaying this message. There are other people who also vary widely on how they respond to the different types of media used for messages to be relayed. For example, people who lack confidence in their written communication prefer talking on the phone. Others prefer slower, more thoughtful paces of email, and they prefer to avoid phones. So they don't want that physical interaction. You have your own preferences as well, but part of communicating well is being able to identify the preferred medium of the other person for any given situation. Communicating well is one of those abilities that is often overlooked. And yet those who have it and are substantial at an advantage to those who have a substantial advantage to those who don't have this quality. Fortunately, many communication skills can also be learned. What are problem-solving skills? Pardon me, I need to drink a little bit of water. Problem-solving skills help you determine why an issue is happening and how to resolve this issue. For example, it's considered a soft skill, a personal strength, rather than a hard skill. And why? It's learned through education or training. You can improve your problem-solving skills by familiarizing yourself with common issues in your industry and learning from more experienced employees. So, problem-solving skills will also help you to determine, to determine why an issue is happening and how to resolve that issue. It's one of the key skills that employers also seek. And we can see why. Without problem-solving skills, if you're faced with a complicated situation, you're going to have difficulty resolving the situation. Okay, so problem solving starts with identifying the issue, coming up with solutions, implementing those solutions, and evaluating if they were effective or not. Since this is a skill that's important to most employers, put them in front and center on your resume, cover letter, and give examples when you're in an interview. Problem solving also helps you solve issues quickly and effectively. It's one of the key skills that employers seek in job applicants, as employers with these skills tend to be self-reliant. Problem-solving skills require quickly identifying and underlying issues and implementing a solution. Don't forget that to have problem-solving skills, you also need to be creative. How problem-solving skills work. Problem-solving starts with identifying the key problem or the issue. For example, a teacher may need to figure out how to improve student performance on a writing proficiency test. To do that, the teacher will review the writing tests, looking for areas of improvement. They may see that the students can construct simple sentences, but they're struggling with writing paragraphs and organizing those paragraphs into an essay. To solve the problem, the teacher would work with students on how and when to write compound sentences, how to write paragraphs, and ways to organize an essay. So the first steps are analyze the causes to the unwanted situation, generate a set of alternative interventions to achieve your goal, evaluate the best solutions, implement a plan, and finally assess its effectiveness. To solve a problem, first, what do you have to do? You have to try to figure out what caused that problem. This requires you to gather and evaluate data, isolate possible contributing circumstances, pinpoint what needs to be addressed in order to solve that problem. To do this, you'll use skills like data gathering, data analysis, fact-finding, historical analysis, and so forth. Once you've determined the cause, brainstorm possible solutions. Create a mind map, for example, where you have the problem in the middle and then, you spread it out, trying to find possible solutions for that problem. Sometimes this involves also teamwork, since two or more minds are often better than one. A single strategy is rarely the obvious route to solving a complex problem. Devising a set of alternatives helps you cover your bases and introduces your risk of exposure should the first strategy you implement fail. This involves skills like brainstorming, creative thinking, prediction, forecasting, project design, project planning. Evaluate solutions as well. Once you've determined the cause, like I said, brainstorm possible solutions. Sometimes this also involves teamwork, since, we've said this, two minds are better than one. Apologize for that. We should now implement a plan. Once a course of action has been decided, it must be determined along with benchmarks that can quickly and accurately determine whether it's working. Plan implementation also involves letting personnel know that changes in standard operating procedures are being altered. This requires skills like project management, project implementation, collaboration, time management, and benchmark development. Assess the solution's effectiveness. Once a solution has been implemented, the best problem solvers have systems in order to evaluate how quickly this resolution works. This way they know as soon as possible whether the issue has been resolved or whether they need to change something in order to help them resolve the issue a little quicker. Change their response to the problem midstream, for example. This requires also communication data, data analysis, surveys, customer feedback, follow-through, troubleshooting. Here's an example of showing your problem-solving skills in a cover letter. When I was first hired as a paralegal, I inherited a backlog of 25 sets of medical records that needed to be summarized, each of which were hundreds of pages long. At the same time, I had to help prepare for 3 major cases, and there weren't enough hours in the day. After I explained the problem to my supervisor, she agreed to pay me to come in on Saturday mornings to focus on the backlog. I was able to eliminate the backlog in a month. Organizational skills. Organizational skills are some of the most important and transferable job skills an employee can acquire. They encompass a set of capabilities that help a person plan, prioritize, and achieve their goals, which in turn can save the company time and money. What are organizational skills? These are related to creating structure and order, boosting productivity, and prioritizing tasks that must be completely completed versus those that can be postponed, delegating tasks to another person, or eliminating them altogether. Maintaining strong organizational skills can reduce the chance of developing poor work habits such as procrastination, clutter, miscommunication, and inefficiency. Managers look at these organizational skills because they know that they can reduce the chance of developing poor work habits. So imagine when you have something or various tasks that you have to do, put the most important ones first. Go through your list and see which have to be done and resolved at that moment. Don't put a small task in front of a major task. This will only make you disorganized. Internal and external organizational skills. These encompass more than simply keeping a clutter-free desk and organized computer. While maintaining a clear space is important, neatness is only one of the several key organizational skills. Employees with excellent organizational skills are those that are able to keep themselves calm and prepared with systematic planning and scheduling. External organizational skills. These are what? They typically center around the rigid timeline and organizing a job into smaller projects, identifying goals that can be effective to complete them. Employers look for workers who can schedule and delegate these smaller tasks to themselves and other employees in order to stay on track and meet deadlines while sustaining a healthy work-life balance. So like I said, take the time to prioritize your tasks. If you have deadlines, you have to prioritize your tasks to meet those deadlines first. Smaller tasks that don't have deadlines, don't focus on them as much. It's not meaning that they're not important, it's just that you have to focus on what is important at the moment. If you do this, you will find it easier to be able to complete your tasks on time. Examples of organizational skills. So employers seek physical organization for administrative, creative thinking, effectiveness, and productivity. Regarding planning, employers seek someone who is capable of analyzing issues, of decision making, of project management, and strategic planning. Finally, regarding teamwork, for example, employers seek someone who is capable of working in collaboration with others. If they have to divide tasks and delegate tasks to others, they are also able to do this. They set goals, and finally, they end up being the group leader. Physical organization. This includes not only having a tidy desk, but also laying out rooms, floors, whole buildings. It goes beyond maintaining a neat appearance. A poorly organized space leads to physical discomfort, wasted time, lost objects, and even lost people. The space people work in has a lot to do with how well they work. Someone must design these spaces, and then everyone must maintain them in order. Planning. Without a plan, a goal is only a wish. For any project, planning means anticipating the resources that are necessary and how long the project will take to be executed. Okay, assembling those resources and blocking out unnecessary time is essential for you to carry out your plan correctly. If it's necessary, a worker may even have to alter the plan based on resource availability and time constraints. A plan may be as simple as deciding which end of the hall to clean first, or it could chart corporate strategy for the next 10 years. Small-scale planning may be easier and faster, but it's not less important than something on a larger scale. Teamwork. On a well-organized team, each member has a different role, and tasks are assigned accordingly to these roles. Creating the organizational structure of a new team is a skilled accomplishment, but so is giving and accepting appropriate delegation, following directions, and communicating clearly with the right people. Well-organized people understand and maintain the structure of the teams of which they are part of. So imagine that you're working in conjunction with your colleagues. There's always someone that is going to give indications of what needs to be done. Don't be offended if your colleague says, you need to do this, you need to do that. This is what teamwork is all about. It's collaborating with each other. It's learning how to take orders, even if your coworker is at the same level as you, because there's always someone that has to be in charge. More organizational skills. The video that follows will show you additional organizational skills that you can use on resumes, cover letters, job applications, and interviews. Required skills will be or will vary based on the job for which you're applying.
So, you reckon you're pretty smart, eh? Top of the class, the next big thing? You probably think you've got the skills to pay the bills. Well, think again. It might surprise you, but getting a job isn't all about your grades. I mean, sure, they're important, but you're gonna need some other skills too. You may be the best writer, mechanic, scientist, chef, or rapper, but all this talent amounts to very little if you don't work well with other people. Some of the must-have professional qualities I'm talking about can be as important as exam qualifications. These are called the soft skills, and if they aren't up to scratch, you might just be limiting your chances of success. But don't panic. Everyone has some form of soft skills. There's growth mindset, resilience, communication, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence, to name but a few. While hard skills are measurable abilities such as science, languages, or maths, soft skills are the important general qualities that make you a good employee. They're a combination of lots of things, including social skills, character traits, and employment qualities. And while hard skills might be important in some industries, soft skills are important in all of them. So, there you have it. It's no wonder employers put so much importance on the soft skills. They won't just help you land your first job, but wherever you want to work in the future, they'll definitely give you a head start.
So now that we're finished the presentation, let's just test your knowledge with a small little game through Kahoot. I'm just going to put my name so that the questions can pop up. Meanwhile, I'm not going to answer, okay? Let's just see how you do. So soft skills. observant of what needs to be done, paying attention to your words and actions. What do you think? Communication, flexibility, awareness, or integrity? And the right answer is awareness. Hope you got it. As you can see, it says time's up because I didn't answer, and I didn't answer on purpose so that I wouldn't give the answer away. Okay, so let's move on. Next question. Effectively presenting your thoughts and ideas verbally and in writing. So you have integrity, communication, leadership, or awareness. That's right, communication. Number 3, ready to make changes or adapt quickly. Respect, presentation, flexibility, or initiative. Excellent, if you got flexibility right. Self-starter, doing things without being asked to do them. Initiative, flexibility, respect, and responsibility. Excellent. Giving an honest day's work. Ethical, treating others fairly. So we have time management, initiative, awareness, and integrity. Excellent if you got integrity right. Encouraging others by example, giving clear and concise directions. Presentation, respect, leadership, or flexibility. Leadership is the correct answer here. Number 7, being creative, practical, and helpful when encountering difficulties. Awareness, leadership, problem solving, or respect. Problem solving is is the correct answer. Considerate of other people's feelings and differences. Leadership, respect, responsibility, and flexibility. Respect is the right answer here. Number 9, being held accountable for your actions, dependable. You have integrity, flexibility, awareness, and responsibility. Responsibility is the correct answer. Number 10, planning activities with realistic expectations of completion. Punctual. We have time management, teamwork, responsibility, and presentation. Excellent if you got time management correct. And finally, collaborative and cooperative with coworkers, contribute to goals, problem solving, respect, responsibility, and teamwork. Teamwork was correct. Hope you enjoyed this small quiz. Hope you got all of your answers correct. And we'll see each other again next time. Thank you for being present.